Okay, what I have here is a bottle of blue sports drink that has blue dye number 1, and it also has sugar in it, among other things. And I also have a bottle of 3 molar potassium hydroxide. Now the bottle of blue sports drink is about half full. Poured some out to leave myself some room. I'm going to pour the potassium hydroxide in. Okay. And I'm going to swirl it around a little bit. Then we're going to let that sit. And while that sits, we might see a color change. Now, the blue dye number 1 is also known as erioglaucine. And here's a look at the chemical structure of that erioglaucine. Now, what's happening here, if we look back at the bottle, you see it's not as blue as it once was. It's sort of fading to a yellowish color. What's happening is, under these fairly basic conditions, is the sugar is being oxidized by the erioglaucine, and the erioglaucine is being reduced by the sugar. And the reduced form of that erioglaucine is going from blue to colorless. And so we can see that it's fading to sort of a yellowish color. Now this only happens as long as the bottle is sitting still. If I actually take the bottle and swirl it, you can see that the blue color returns. And if I leave it alone, that blue color will fade again, and the color will revert to sort of a yellowish color. Okay? What's happening here is that when I swirl the bottle, the air gets mixed in. Notice it's an open bottle. Air gets mixed into the bottle, and the air reoxidizes this reduced form of the erioglaucine back to its blue form. So as long as I swirl the bottle, I'm mixing oxygen in, the erioglaucine reduced form goes back to its oxidized form. When I let the bottle sit still, that erioglaucine is re-reduced down to the colorless form. And so this is a variation of a classic experiment called the blue bottle experiment. It's often been done using methylene blue instead of the erioglaucine or the blue dye number 1. But this type of chemical reaction sequence has been known for a while. This involves, again, using the dye inside of a sports drink and the sugar inside of a sports drink. I want to make sure you all recognize that you never drink anything in the lab, and certainly you would never drink anything out of a sports beverage for that we've added 3 molar hydroxide ions to. This is something you would never drink. Okay, this will go on and on, back and forth, and eventually it will stay sort of this yellowish color permanently.